Alright guys, so this is the long-awaited for some people video of mine of my Star Wars Celebration 2017 haul. So this is going to be a long one. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of story. So I'm going to try to do it in the best I can with the time allotted. I think I can only upload 15-minute videos maybe. Anyway, here goes. So here's a first look. Bam. And that is it. I mean, it is an absolute lot, man. And sorry if this looks really terrible. Like, my room is awful. But I couldn't find a better way to do this. So, first off, I'll just start with my first day in celebration. We waited, Julie and I, of course, Julie's my girlfriend, as most of you know. Julie and I, we got there on Thursday, not super early. We got there around like 7 in the morning. We waited in line for a couple hours. We finally got in, and when we finally got in, we went straight to the merch floor. And I was walking around, Julie and I were walking around looking at the merch booth. And, sorry my camera keeps shaking. Anyway, we were looking at the merch booth, and, man, I was just looking through stuff as I was. They had a giant screen up there in the show floor with a giant screen with big speakers playing each panel live, and it was absolutely nuts. They had costumes, vehicles, anything you could think of, really. I mean, just all these booths were amazing to look at, like actual companies, and then like these mom and pop toy stores that had their booths. I mean, it was just so much to take in, and it was awesome. Star Wars music playing pretty much everywhere you went. Cosplays, awesome cosplays, which I wish I could have cosplayed. I had a cosplay that was in the works, but I ran out of time and I didn't feel like having to go through weapons check. So anyway, so I'm walking around right when the stinking show floor opens. I'm walking around looking at people's stuff, and I'm looking through stuff, and I see, if you guys know Fwoosh, he has a YouTube channel here. He's a pretty big channel. He's got like 20,000 subscribers, I think. He reviews a lot of Star Wars 6-inch figures, like Japanese and Hasbro type stuff. And he does Marvel too, but he has a pretty big channel. He's an awesome review channel. He does a great job. I look up, and there he is at a booth, and I'm like, what the heck, dude? This is awesome. I didn't expect to see him. I'm just looking up and going through figures, which I actually picked up these two figures from that booth he was working at. Total of $6. Boba and Sora Bilk, whatever. $6 loose. But I'm looking there, and they had a deal. I think it was like 3 or 4 for $10. So I just picked up 2. The only couple that I was interested in. But I looked up and I saw his face, and I was like, no way. So I went up to him and introduced myself. We geeked out for a little while. We talked for like 20 minutes, just standing there right when that thing opened, and that panel, that 40th anniversary panel that morning was still live, and I could still hear that in the background. And then he actually talked me into visiting the Dorkside Toys booth, because I had recently watched his video on this guy, the 40th anniversary Darth Vader, and he talked me into going over there and paying a visit to Dorkside, and I did. I picked him up for retail, $40. It was actually 40 cash, so I paid less than retail. Anyway, yeah, and then I saw that, and after I talked to him about that figure, I had to go and pick him up, so I picked him up. And at that Dorkside Toys booth, they had a bunch of Sabines there, and she was only like $22. But she was there, and I was like, oh, there's plenty of them here. I'll be able to pick her up by Saturday. But that wasn't the case. Rule number 1 at Celebration, I figured out really quickly. If you see something you might want, you kind of want, just go ahead and buy it. Because by the time you make your rounds the next day, or even the next few hours after you've already made your rounds, it's probably going to be gone. So that's a rule definitely to stick by. Anyway, so I got that 40th anniversary figure, and another funniest thing, right after I got done seeing the Fwoosh, I went up to walk up to a person to pay for this guy, and it was Fly Guy. If you guys know who Fly Guy is, he was Fly Guy. I was like, I handed him the cash. I looked up and I was like, what? You're Fly Guy? He's like, yeah, I'm Fly Guy. I was like, what the heck, man? Nice to meet you. He's like, oh, nice to meet you. So we talked for a second, but I bought these two figures from Robo, which is the Fwoosh. Then I bought this 40th anniversary figure from Fly Guy, which is freaking nuts, man. Never in my wildest dreams I thought I'd ever do that somewhere. But anyway, so that's that, and then that same. It's actually before I got these two and this one, I found this Cantina patron. His name escapes me right now. I used to know it, but I don't anymore. Asajj Ventress, Stinkin' Vilmar, Garark, I guess. That comic pack, it comes with Quinlan Voss. This Sand Trooper, this Cantina patron, another guy, I can't remember his name. These two Jawas, and I think that is it. Yeah. I got all those figures for $4 a piece. No. Sorry, I missed one very important one. Another one I got for $4 a piece, and I could not believe it when I picked him up in the baggie. Yes, you're seeing this right. Toredo's gone. $4. He goes for about $40 loose on eBay. $4. And it was just a box full. Just somebody had just a cardboard box full of figures, ranging from really, really new to, Power of the Force 2. But they had mostly vintage stuff there. And anyway, I sifted through that stuff, and I cherry-picked that stuff, man. And that was right before that box had been raked over by fans. I got to that same box Saturday, right around, midday. And that box was only like, maybe 10 figures left in that whole box when it was like hundreds in baggies. So, that box went quickly, but I picked the very best ones out of that box. I certainly did, because right when I got on that floor, right when it opened, I found that box just walking through, and I was glad to have done that. But the funny thing is, whoever this collector was that had these figures before me, he decided it'd be a good idea to shoot an ad playing on this song. That's weird. I've got a mix playing here, trying to make it better, trying to feel the mood. Anyway, the collector who had these $3 figures, $4 figures before me, thought it was a good idea to super glue their stinking weapons into their holsters, into their hands. And the Sand Trooper had his blaster in this hand, but thankfully I had a replacement hand. I just kind of popped out and popped in a new hand. This guy still has his gun super glued. And this Toredo's Gone had a hand super glued. But thankfully, years ago, I bought a custom on eBay for some guy. And it had a Toredo's Gone hands and a Toredo's Gone head. So thankfully, I just popped his hand out that had that lightsaber glued to it and popped the new one back in. And he's good to go. But the Asajj, funnily enough, did not have any weapons super glued to her hands, which makes no sense to me. These Jawas, this guy did. He had his hands super glued. So I replaced them with new hands. Obviously, that's not the ones that came with them, but I think it works for now. Plus, it just gives them some distinction. So, anyway, that was that crazy little haul there. That one little haul. These two main ones I got right here. Yes, I've been wanting K-Crook, for a long time. And I picked him up loose, and this Starkiller that I didn't have in the Mandalorian, armor. I picked these guys up for $50 a piece. To my eBay research, that Starkiller at $50 loose was an okay buy, but $50 loose for that K-Crook was a good buy. So, yeah, I got him, and I was super, super happy to finally have him in my hands. The figure I've been wanting for forever, and finally got him. So yeah, that's that. I love those two figures. They're freaking great. And I got this Farm Boy Luke I've been wanting for a while. I have the one where the vintage collection version where he has the Stormtrooper belt, but I just didn't have the normal version. I got him for $10, which is okay. I didn't have him and I wanted him. And I wanted to feel. This was a really Jedi heavy celebration haul. So, I'd always wanted Hermie Odell, and I had never found them in stores, and I remember the 30th anniversary collection really well, and it's ironic because it was 40th anniversary collection time. So, 10 years ago, I remember these being on the pegs. So, Hermie Odell, picked him up, and then Yarel Poof, I didn't have him either. A lot of Jedi, I'm telling you, picked him up too. This is 12, this was 15, but I think I got these two for 20. So, you can haggle at Celebration. It's pretty good to do that. Then, of course, I picked up Ki-Adi-Mundi. I used to have this figure, but Manny, as you know, guess what I did? I butchered him for customs like an idiot. I was really young, but now I have him again. It's all good in the neighborhood. So, got him. Got these three guys carded. And I got these, I got the Vintage Collection Revenge of the Sith Yoda I didn't have. I've been really wanting them. Him, and I got Pruneface or a Marco, whatever, for 20 apiece, which I thought was a decent deal. It's alright for Vintage Collection. Then I got something I've been wanting for a long time. Vintage Leia with her original weapon. It's down there. There it is. I paid a very pretty penny for her because at Celebration, I mean, man, you couldn't find a original vintage Leia with her original weapon for a decent price. I mean, it was horrible, and I've been wanting her for a long time, and I just never found one at the right price, but I figured I'd bite the bullet and pay a premium, and she's still in okay shape. She's a little yellowed, but she's got her original weapon, and she looks pretty good for the most part. Then, of course, I've got the Star Wars Celebration X-Wing Pilot Luke. I got this Luke when he was first available in the first wave of Black Series figures. But, man, if you're at Celebration and there's an exclusive, pick it up. Now, I think this retailed for $27. $27 is what it was at the Hasbro booth. And you were limited to 2 per customer. So I bought myself one and my dad one. And now they're going for like $90 on eBay. They were going for like $150 until Hasbro put the extra stock on their website, and it sold like freaking hotcakes within minutes. But yeah, they're still going for like $90, $80 on eBay. That's as of now. And of course, I've got my Star Tots Gamorrean Guard with the collector's track Star Tots Gamorrean Guard little stand they had. Julie and I attended a panel. It was a collector's panel on how to display your collection, and it was interesting to me. But it was a great panel, but, I mean, a lot of people, we had woken up at 4 that morning. Julie and I were so tired. Got in there, and it was cool in the room. And my poor baby, she was falling asleep. She was just, I saw her head just going, you know, like doing that number. So I kept kind of nudging her a little bit, and poor thing, she was so tired. But we both had a good time. And, of course, I got to see Ray Park and Anthony Daniels. I got to see those 2 panels, and it was absolutely awesome. It was so much fun. And what's not pictured here is I got 2 Celebration exclusive t-shirts. I got the one with the old man Luke, you know, Jedi Master Luke on it from The Force Awakens, Star Wars Celebration exclusive. Then I got the, it was kind of in the style of a movie poster, Return of the Jedi type. I can't really explain it, but it's a really cool t-shirt, both of them. And I got those, and I bought my sister, my mom, no, I'm sorry. I bought my dad and my friend Chase a t-shirt, too. And they were like $25 a piece. And then when they rung up, they were like, hey, you're eligible to get this Star Wars Celebration exclusive pin. I was like, cool, yeah, throw it on there. And they'd be like, oh, that's $10 extra, though. I was like, oh, so you mean I'm eligible, but I'm not getting it, though? And they're like, yeah. I was like, oh, all right, well, fine, I'll buy it. But which was kind of, I wish they kind of would have handed them out if you spend a certain amount of money. But I thought it was, you know, what the heck, it's Star Wars Celebration. This is once in a lifetime, not once in a lifetime, but once in a long time type thing. So that's pretty much it, man. That is my main creme de la creme haul. And I got my dad some, like I said, a t-shirt, the Last Jedi one with the Star Wars Celebration logo, and I got him an Unleashed Vader, the giant one, statue type thing. It was super cool. Got him, of course, one of these Lukes, and I got him a pin, and I got my mom, my sister some t-shirts, and Julie got a few things too. She got mostly pins. She's a Marvel fanatic, and she saw some Marvel stuff there that she wanted, but she didn't really, you know, decide to close out on it. Anyway, though, that is my haul. I mean, it was absolutely amazing. If you guys ever have the chance to go to Celebration, go do it. It is so much fun, especially if you call yourself a hardcore Star Wars fan. You've got to. So anyway, this is my video, and I hope you guys have enjoyed. Any questions, any comments you guys want to leave them, and I will do my best to get to all of them. I'm sure I will. I like to reply to all of them. But anyway, thank you guys for checking me out. Love you guys. You guys are all awesome. Today's May the 4th, so I thought this was appropriate. So May the 4th be with you guys.
Peace.